Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do kind of a July favorites video, but I don't really want to say it's my July favorites just because I've been using a lot of these products for longer than a month. So I thought I would just share kind of the things that I'm loving currently with you guys. The first thing that I have is from the Simple line. If you know, if you have sensitive skin, you've probably seen this before, but I just got this from Target. It's the Simple Sensitive Skin Eye Makeup Remover. A lot of eye makeup removers will actually make my dry skin a lot worse. I've said before I have pretty dry skin, and I get kind of dry skin right here through the corner of my eyes if they kind of have a reaction to something that I'm using, and I haven't had that happen with this. So I really like how it feels on my skin. It doesn't irritate, it doesn't burn. Even when it kind of gets in my eyes. There's no perfumes or dyes, so naturally it doesn't really smell like anything. It doesn't have a scent at all. And I just really like the way that it feels on my skin, and it removes all of my eyeliner, which is really nice that my face wash kind of leaves behind. The next thing that I have is this L'Oreal True Match Lumi. I'm sure if you watch videos, you've heard about this before. I really like this foundation. I normally don't use drugstore foundation. I normally use my Makeup Forever HD foundation, but I wanted to kind of have a backup if I needed, say I forgot my foundation and I was away from home and I was traveling and I needed to be able to go get something. Drugstore foundation stresses me out. I am not used to anymore being able, oh, can I try that one? Will you try this shade on me? So I stood there for a very long time trying to figure out what shade I wanted. But I like this foundation, especially for dry skin. I don't know how it would work if you had more oily prone skin. Just because when you put it on, I feel like it's a very glowy, kind of luminous, hence the Lumi name, foundation. So I don't know how you would feel if you had more oily skin. I don't know that you would like it. But for me, I feel like it's a little bit more moisturizing because I think it's trying to give you that kind of glowy feel. So, but you do have to set it with a powder, I will say, just because I feel like it's really kind of dewy. But I like the coverage. I think they have a cool, a neutral, and a warm tone. This is the N3 from the Neutral in Natural Buff. And I feel like it's a good match for me. I'm wearing it today. I've been wearing it kind of alternating between that and my Makeup Forever, and I just really like the coverage. I like the way it feels on my skin, so I think if you have more dry skin, I think you'll like this. I think you should maybe try it if you do have oily skin. I just don't know if you'll like it as much. And I feel like they had a different one for more normal to oily skin, which you might just want to at least go to Target or the drugstore and see if they have different ones, just because I think it's a good drugstore foundation. The next thing that I have is a sunscreen. I am a huge proponent of sunscreen for your face, and I have been on the hunt for the perfect sunscreen that doesn't smell like a sunscreen, that doesn't feel like a sunscreen. You know, like the scent of copper tone. I don't want that every day. So I have been searching, and I don't think a lot of people, especially women or girls, use enough SPF sunscreen. I know a lot of people, or girls really, in their late teens, early 20s, who are only using maybe SPF 15 in their moisturizer, and I just don't feel like that's enough. And I don't know if it's because of my background and I've been, you know, kind of more focused on face stuff and aging and SPF and skin cancer. I don't know if I'm just more focused on that, or I don't know if maybe companies aren't, or doctors aren't telling people enough. I'm not really sure, but I am on a fast train to 30. So I am using, the SPF I use every day is SPF 41. And I don't ever not use it. Now my makeups still have SPF 15 or 20 or whatever in them. And I think that the Lumi has SPF 20. So if you're looking for an SPF in a foundation, it does have SPF in it. I didn't even notice that it did when I bought it. So I just don't rely on my makeup to provide my SPF for me. The sunscreen that I have found is by Elta MD. See if you can see it here. And it looks kind of like this. It's the UV Physical Broad Spectrum SPF 41. It's a kind of a longer, skinnier tube. It's 3 ounces. It is lightly tinted, which I can show you. You can kind of see it here. It doesn't, I don't feel, change my skin tone that much, so it's not like a BB cream. I wouldn't usually wear it by itself, you know, unless you're just, you don't care and you don't want to have makeup on that day. But so it's tinted, it doesn't have chemicals in it, it's oil free, it doesn't smell like sunscreen. I don't even know that it smells like anything. No smell, which I do not do products that smell horribly, which I can do more about skincare later on, but I can't do stuff that smells bad. It has zinc in it, it has UVA and UVB protection, it's water resistant, but only for a certain amount of time. I really like the L to MD line. If you go to a dermatologist, a lot of dermatologists carry L to MD. That's how I heard about it. You can find it on Amazon. You can really find it anywhere online. But it's very light. This one is for extra sensitive and post-procedure skin. My skin is not post-procedure, but if you have a chemical peel, you can put this on right afterwards. My skin is sensitive. I just liked the extra sensitive one more. So if you have a dermatologist, which I would highly recommend going to one if you don't, they should be able to give you some samples. That they gave me a ton of samples last time, so I was able to try any kind of SPF that they had to see what formula I felt was better. They have different ones that are not tinted, that are the normal kind of white color if you're looking for something like that. So anyways, this is not meant to be a sun care skin cancer documentary. I'm just trying to say it's important. So if you are also on my train, the Let's Approach 30 train, even if we don't want to, and you're only using 15 SPF, please use a little bit more. Your skin will thank you later on, I promise. My next thing that I really like is the Naked Basics palette. This is kind of old. I've been using this again for a really long time, since it came out. I have the Naked 2 palette. I don't have the original one. And I know a lot of people who don't like this palette, which surprised me just because I really love it. And I'm thinking it's because maybe they have a different neutral or matte palette, which this is. All these colors are matte except for this first one, this Venus shade, which is kind of like the highlighter shade. It's kind of like a more white yellow undertone highlighter shade. So I'm thinking that people probably have other matte palettes and maybe they like that one better. I know some people who don't feel like this one blended out very well. I don't feel like I have that problem. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, I'm not sure. But I really like this palette. I use it not every day, but pretty close to every day, at least one of the colors. The WOS, or the Walk of Shame, this one I've hit the pan on. It's kind of a more tan, peachy, yogurty color. And I really like this palette. So if you don't have it, I would recommend it. I can swatch it for you if you wanted to see the swatches, but I'm sure you've heard about it. And I just really like that it's small, it's tiny, it's compact, it could fit anywhere, it's very thin. And I think that it could fit anywhere really easily if you travel and you want to throw it in your bag and you've got to go. I think this could provide enough makeup looks for a weekend or what have you. So I really do like this. And the last thing that I have is for hair. I have very long hair, obviously. And like I have said in my other video of my curling tutorial, I only wash my hair about every 4 or 5 days, which I know is not a lot. Let's move past that. And I normally will wash my hair at nighttime. I do use a conditioner. I also use a different kind of detangler, and I can do kind of, not a tutorial, but what I use on my hair video if you want. But I use that, and then I would normally brush it out. I sleep with it wet, and I wake up, and it's pretty much straight. I'm just one of those people. But I hate, with a passion, brushing my hair out. It is painful, and it makes me really hate long hair. Like if I had a good pair of shears in my bathroom, there's a chance that my hair could be like this long, because it is so irritating and it yanks through. It was kind of like when I got the ombre hair done. My hairstylist, basically, they take your hair and they back comb your entire head, so it is like this massive rat nest. And I remember thinking, this is gonna be really painful when this gets brushed out. This is gonna suck pretty bad. And it sucked pretty bad. And I remember a hairstylist down the way said, you should use your wet brush. I'm sorry, a wet brush? So I did some research. Meet the wet brush. This is his little tail right here. He's not very big. He's just like a little paddly brush. I'm not sure, but I think he's a boy. And it's just a little black one. They have different colors, but I have been on the hunt for this. And I was in Sally's randomly the other day, and I went to their brush aisle, and lo and behold, in the little corner singing to me was this little friend. And I am so in love with him. When I get to use him basically about once a week, maybe twice, depending on the week, it really does minimize the tangles that are happening in your hair. I don't know. I've looked at it. I don't understand why it would be any different than my normal paddle brush, but it just is. I've used it without my detangler, and it still worked just as good. So I don't think that it's the products I'm putting in my hair that is helping it be this way, but it's fairly amazing. And I'm kind of in love. So if you have longer hair and it becomes a mop and you hate brushing it out. Now remember, I don't blow dry my hair, so that's kind of why I go to sleep with it wet. So this is muy importante to me. I really think that you guys would love it if you tried it. If you have longer hair and you hate brushing it out like me, I've recommended it to almost everybody that I know who I know hates tangled hair, which I don't know anyone who likes it. So if you're looking for a solution, I have found one for you. You can find them on Amazon, or your Sally's should have them too. I think it was maybe $8 or $9, and it was worth every penny. I probably would pay $20 for it. All of the things I'm currently loving right now. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you had a great month of July, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!